What's up, YouTube fans? Today we take a look at the FansToys Spindrift 1.0, or their version of a masterpiece Seaspray. So this is actually the first version of Seaspray we got. We got another one from them. I guess they didn't feel like it met all their standards, or maybe the fans didn't feel like it met their standards. But either way, this is the first version. I actually got this from the Chosen Prime at a really good discount. I just haven't had a chance to review it. A while back, I think it was like $45 on a pretty big sale. So I was like, why not? I love this alt mode because it looks a lot like the G1 toy. So a little bit of a backstory here. When I was younger, I didn't have a lot of Transformers. My cousins and my family members had more Transformers than I did. I had a couple, like 3 or 4. I went to a cousin's house, and it happened to be a girl, and she had a bunch of Transformers. And one of the ones she had was Seaspray. And it was actually like sitting in the bottom of a bin, kind of like covered up, not being used, and sort of dirty. And I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And I played with it. And I asked her, hey, can I take this home and play with it? She was like, no, I like it. I want to keep it. And I was like, well, can I just borrow it? And she said no. Well, I did the morally wrong thing. I put it in my pocket. And as I was leaving her house, she goes, hey, did you take that Transformer? I was like, yes. And I took it out of my pocket, gave it back. And then from that point on, I actually never saw Seaspray again until my adult life, when I saw it, obviously, at, TF Cons, but also, these adult collectibles. So that's kind of why I wanted this version, because I just think it looks so much like that G1 toy. This one doesn't have wheels on the bottom like the other one does, but it's a really good looking hovercraft. It does have a blue paint here. This is yellow plastic for the legs and for the rear piece here. A little bit of red, yellow, and blue here. White paint here. These do spin like I've been messing with for the whole time. Overall, it's a good looking hovercraft. Now you can install the guns here. So you get this bigger gun will fit right between here. Between these two, so just kind of get the legs open just wide enough to get this in between. And sometimes this white piece likes to fall down, so you can just push it back up from the bottom and then squeeze this back together, and there you go. There's the gun mounted. You also get 2 smaller guns, which I don't remember Seaspray coming with these, but I just thought it was cool. And these will go right here. And now he's fully armed up, ready to go. Pretty cool alt mode altogether. And for quick size comparisons, there it is next to MP10 Optimus Prime. Pretty small next to him. And also smaller than the Spindrift 2.0. You can see they made the alt mode a lot bigger. Now, I did do a comparison of these two as well as the X-Transbots version. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. I believe this guy won that comparison, but I really do like the alt mode on this. It's just small and toyetic, and it really feels like, it gives you those nostalgic feels for the toy, but there you go for a sense of size. And for another comparison, there it is next to a can of Spindrift. And yeah, this is kind of a joke, but I actually drink this seltzer. It's really good, by the way. It's got actual juice in it. I really recommend it, but I wonder if they got the name from this seltzer. It's been around for a while. Their original flavor is like a lemon. But anyway, there you go. All right, now let's get him transformed into his robot mode. And he does come in robot mode in box, but since this is an older figure, 2017, and there's probably tons of reviews out there, I'll just go from vehicle to robot mode here so that you get a different review. Go ahead and kind of separate all of this a little bit to give yourself some room. We're going to take these arms, unpeg them from right here while pulling them out on that elbow joint. Then you can pull those out. From this side, kind of give yourself a little room and separate this. And then you can fold this out. Then these panels here are actually pegged in 2 spots. So they're pegged into the side of the leg and down here. You can lift those up on both sides. Then you can take the legs and extend them down on these knee joints here. Fold the ankles straight. Come to the back here, you can fold these inwards. Nice die cast on the feet, by the way. Pretty cool. Now let's take care of all this. We're going to take this panel here, open up the top here. You can eject the head from here. It's pulled down. So pull it all the way up. Come to this side and we'll take care of all of this. So this is actually interesting how they have it set up. Basically you're going to unpeg this backpack from here. This is the front of the chest. This part's going to end up inside here. There's a little square peg here that you can see that's going to go onto that. So get this lined up so the back is kind of straight. It's going to come accordion down like that, and then this is going to fit right into here. This is going to also accordion up into the chest. So you want to kind of get this there, like that, and leave it open a little bit so you can get this in here. It's a tricky sequence, but you got to get this lined up, and once you get that lined up, you squeeze it together. So end up like this with these two pieces on the side. Alright, come to the back here. We're going to rotate these in. There's a little tab right here. These are going to fold down, and I'd always found this to be a pretty strange transformation, but fold these up, and then these are going to fit right on the back and just sit just like that. Same on this side. Fold that down. It's going to kind of tab in right there. And then this piece, we're going to open up this panel and then bring this down and then tab that into the back. There's actually the peg right there, so make sure that peg makes its way in. And this can be a little bit loose back here. So if you have a little bit of looseness, you can open up one of these so that they're touching and they have a little bit more resistance. Bring the arms down. You can bring these forward and bring the hands forward. So you have the elbows facing forward. Rotate the head 180 degrees. There's Spindrift in his robot mode. Pretty nice looking. He is kind of tall and lanky. That is just how he looked. This first version, I think that's why they redid it, right? Because he's supposed to be kind of a chonky character, and he's skinny and, you know, lanky. But there's the back. Overall, pretty nice looking. The chest is painted in white with those same blue, yellow, and red. The eyes have a gray background with a metallic blue for the eyes. And then the feet are painted blue die cast. For the articulation, the head is on a ball joint, but it rotates around. You don't get too much up and down. You get a little bit. And, you know, not much side to side either. Mostly a rotation. Arms rotate all the way around. Out to the side on a hinge. Up to there. Rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets the full bend. Rotation at the wrist. Single pin for the fingers, and they move together as one. Rotation at the waist. You get a little bit of ab crunch here, just due to the way it's designed. Not a whole lot, but there's a little bit there. Legs will kick up to there, back to there, out to the side. Those are all on friction. Rotation at the thigh at a cut joint. Double dungeon knee gets you the full bend there. For the ankles, you have ankle tilts, in and outs, forward and backwards on this, and a rotation as well. As far as the accessories, we can use those same guns we saw in the vehicle mode. So these will peg in right here on the side of the arms. It is a firm fit, by the way. And then see on this one. And one of mine is a little bit tight, so it takes a little bit of extra effort to get it pegged in. There you go. Then you can open up the hand and we can use the blaster here. And that tabs into the palm just like every other masterpiece. And there you go. He's got his weapons. You can also rotate the arm. So if you can use this arm blaster like that, whatever you prefer. We also get a alternate head here. Basically a different shape, kind of done more like the toy. To swap this out, you're going to come to the back here, and we're going to undo the screw in the back of the head. And you really don't even need to take it out all the way. You can just kind of loosen it enough, and that'll come off the ball joint there. And just tighten it back in so you don't lose the screw. And then this one, you can loosen this one up just enough to be able to get this over the ball joint, and then you can tighten up that screw. And then there is the alternate head, kind of more squared off. So you can see that. Here's the other one. It's more circular. But if you prefer that more toy look, which I think I probably do just because this is a more toyetic toy in the first place. All right, and for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the FansToys Spindrift 2.0 and the Magic Square Optimus Prime. And you can see, I think they definitely needed the upgrade. This guy looks kind of emaciated next to this guy. This guy obviously going for the toon look. But if you prefer that more, svelte look, then I think you'll like this guy. But for me personally, I think this guy nails the robot mode way better than this one. So final recommendations on the FansToys Spindrift 1.0. And this is kind of a moot point because 2.0 has already come out and is obviously better, at least in my opinion, is better than the 1.0. But I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 and get a partial recommendation. And one of the reasons I got this guy is for the alt mode. I think the alt mode is awesome. It looks just like the toy. It looks really good as a hovercraft. And overall, it's just a fun figure to have. Transformation is not too bad overall. And it does have some nice weapons here. And then some of the articulation and the overall aesthetic of this guy leaves a little bit to be desired. So I think that's why they made it 2.0. So I kind of understand it. But still a really fun toy from FansToys. I just think the robot mode definitely needed improvement, and that's why they put out the 2.0. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this sort of throwback review, and we'll see you next time.